Hi, this is part two. So would that cause individuals to interpret visual phenomena and data to fit that falsehood? Yes, absolutely. That is one of the most significant consequences. When a falsehood is deeply ingrained as truth, it acts as a filter or an interpretive lens through which individuals perceive and process new information, including visual phenomena and data. Here's why. Confirmation bias. People have a natural tendency to seek out, interpret, and remember information in a way that confirms their existing beliefs. If a long held truth exists, their brains are predisposed to notice and prioritize information that supports it, while downplaying or ignoring information that contradicts it. Cognitive dissonance. Encountering visual evidence or data that directly conflicts with a deeply held belief creates uncomfortable cognitive dissonance. To reduce this discomfort, individuals are strongly motivated to either reject the new information or reinterpret it to make it fit within their existing belief system. Reinterpreting the data is often easier than changing a fundamental belief. Schema and expectation. The false belief forms part of their mental schema, and the organized pattern of thought or behavior that organizes categories of information and the relationships among them. When they encounter visual or data input, their brains try to fit into these existing schemas. They try to fit it into these existing schemas. They expect to see what they believe is true, and this expectation can literally influence perception and interpretation. Selective perception. Individuals might unconsciously focus only on aspects of a visual scene or data set that align with the falsehood, while failing to notice or register contradictory details. Rationalization and justification. If presented with undeniable visual or data evidence that seems to contradict the falsehood, individuals may engage in complex rationalizations or find alternative explanations, often flawed, to maintain the integrity of their core belief. For example, imagine a society where it was falsely taught for generations that a specific natural phenomenon, like a certain type of cloud formation or a tidal pattern, is caused by a mythical creature. When people observe these phenomena, they would interpret visuals, see shapes in the clouds that resemble the creature, or interpret the motion of the tides as the creature's activity. Interpret data. If they collected data on cloud formations or tides, they might look for patterns that correlate with the creature's supposed behavior based on folklore, ignoring or dismissing scientific explanations or data points that don't fit the mythical narrative. So the falsehood doesn't just sit in their minds as a piece of incorrect information, it actively shapes how they interact with and make sense of the world, leading them to interpret reality in a way that reinforces their false belief. That's that one. I'm going to go on to the next one where I asked, so if this is the case, would people who put lots of time and money into learning about a falsehood find it harder to see the falsehood? Part 3 coming up.